You're watching Bermuda Tonight. It's Tuesday, February 7th. I'm Jay Barker, and thanks for being here with us tonight. Detectives have launched an investigation into the death of a man found unresponsive inside a car at the Mid-Ocean Golf Course this morning. Detective Inspector Jason Smith of the Serious Crime Unit said officers and emergency personnel responded to the report around 5 a.m. First aid was carried out, however, the man remained unresponsive. An on-call doctor certified his death shortly after. Foul play is not suspected at this time. However, an investigation into the circumstances surrounding the matter is ongoing. Vanessa Robinson, Director of Human Resources at the Mid-Ocean Club, told us they are fully cooperating with authorities in the investigation. Ms. Robinson also offering condolences to the family of the deceased on behalf of the club. No further information would be provided from detectives. Firefighters within the Bermuda Fire and Rescue Service took their concerns of chronic labor shortages at the Clearwater Fire Station to a tribunal. Staff were invited to show up to support the proceedings held at Melbourne House on Parliament Street, Hamilton, yesterday. Here's their concerns.
The manning levels of the BFRs at the Clearwater Station and in the structural division in particular are simply unsafe. It's important though to distinguish that the numbers don't include the airport operations or the overseas firefighters that have been mentioned much lately. It's only the fire appliance and the ambulance which responds primarily to the medical calls and the fire calls in the eastern parishes. So what we're currently being asked to do is to run those two vehicles with only 4 men. So by comparison, in the central and western parishes, the same vehicles are running with 6 persons. So 4 in the eastern parish currently and 6 in the rest of the island. So you can see the discrepancy there. So what we think can be quite misleading is that the now 10 recruits which are underway overseas training to join the airport division are somehow helping to bolster the numbers of the fire service as a whole, and therefore the structural division, which mans the ambulance out of Clearwater, will somehow benefit from that addition. And that's simply not the case. The recruit airport firefighters we expect will only be assigned to replace the current overseas firefighters and make up the numbers for airport operations. So it's worth noting that originally this recruit cohort was intended for the structural division, but was diverted to seemingly what was a higher priority at the last minute, and that being the airport.
National Security Minister Michael Weeks updated the House of Assembly on Friday, stating 10 out of 11 new Bermudian recruits are undergoing training in the UK due to end in March. He told Bermuda Broadcasting News 9 out of 19 overseas firefighters will remain with the service after March and until the next recruitment drive begins. The arbitration will resume on Friday. Dual language learning, a laboratory for children to experiment, and a space where families can address education challenges. These are some of the pilot schemes proposed at Purvis Primary when it becomes one of the first parish primary schools in September. Education Minister Diallo Rabane elaborated on the plans and told Jasmine Patterson that the upcoming budget will include funds pledged towards education reform.
The Purvis team is looking to bring into play in September exciting opportunities like the dual language program that they're looking to bring in at P1. Envision that you're doing English one day and Spanish the next day for the entirety of your school day. So you're not just learning how to speak the language, you're actually learning how that language works. And another one that they're talking about is the code laboratory, where we have a maker space for our students. And what a maker space is a space where students can go and experiment, explore their STEM, desires. There's another one they're looking to pilot. It's called the Cedar Cafe. And what the Cedar Cafe is just a place for not just the students but the community to meet and discuss what's going on in the school, talk about what the wraparound services are. We need to get to what the core root of the problems is when we're having issues with students and not just the punishment part. Just imagine little Johnny's not bringing his homework because there are some issues at home and they don't have electricity. Let's see how we can assist little Johnny so he can do his homework and see if it's really him just not wanting to do it or if there's other mitigating things. So when we talk about wraparound services, those are the types of things we need to introduce within our school system.
Has the ministry assigned any sort of budget towards this at this time?
Yes, we will be talking about that during budget time. I can say that we've there is monies available to do some of the work that needs to be done to get these schools ready for September 2023. It's always envisioned that these changes will have to happen over the course of several years. When we look at the budget for next year, we'll see a lot of things in there specifically just for education reform.
Still on education reform, Minister Rebane last week confirmed the contract extension for Overseas Education Consultants Innovation Unit, which takes their contract through to September 30th this year at a cost of $1.86 million. He also reaffirmed the establishment of the Education Reform Unit, announced in last November, reporting to the Office of the Minister of Education.
Education reform unit that's now in place that will be running education reform. We've had to create a unit that's separate from the Department of Education to run it, because we also have to maintain the regular school as we phase this in. So the department can now just concentrate on that and not try and split their time between Department of Education and reform. So now we have that in place.
Former PLP MP, government minister, and magistrate Arthur Hodgson has died. Leading the tributes today, Premier and Finance Minister David Burt called him a leader of a generation of social justice champions. Mr. Hodgson was also Bermuda's first Black Rhodes Scholar. Premier Burt said Mr. Hodgson served at the vanguard of the earliest days of party politics in Bermuda. As his granddaughter, Senator Ariana Hodgson, serves in the upper house, Mr. Burt said Arthur Hodgson's legacy is a source of pride and inspiration. The One Bermuda Alliance, also paying tribute, said at that time he was a teacher with other luminary black male educators such as Jim Brock, Solomon Kawley, Kenneth Richardson, Donald Dane, and James Paris. They added, as a seasoned politician and man of God, Arthur Hodgson, JP, will be sadly missed in Bermuda. End quote. More news coming up after this commercial break. Stay with us.
Morning. I have my day too. What's happening?
Marketplace is now offering customers 10 cents off their bill for every reusable bag used.
Thank you so much.
You know you can count on us.
I'm coming back tomorrow.
We're now slashing scooter rental prices to just $9 per day. That's right, you heard me correct, $9 per day to rent a scooter from Scooter Mart and Elbow Beach Cycles. Thanks to our new partnership, we're offering the lowest rental prices Bermuda has seen in decades. We already had the lowest rental prices before, and now they're the lowest ever. We've recently received brand new containers full of hundreds of brand new rentals, including basic scooters, slash $9 per day. Large scooters, slash $10.80 per day. Super premium electric Muse scooters, slash, again, $10.80 per day. Even the Italian-made Vespa Primavera, slash $25.50 per day. Why pay over $200 or $300 per week for an old, broken down, squeaky Jitla when you get a brand new rental scooter from Elbow Beach Cycles for just $9 per day? Visit scootermart.bm or elbowbeachcycles.bm to reserve and book now. And remember, use the limited time offer promo code SLASH. The best rental prices are always guaranteed at Scooter Mart and Elbow Beach Cycles. Come check us out.
Have your scan at HMC Burnaby Urgent Care and Medical Imaging, which has Bermuda's most up-to-date imaging equipment, providing optimal imaging quality using lower radiation compared to older scanners. The European Society of Radiology states that the replacement of radiological equipment older than 10 years is essential. The Canadian Radiology Association's life cycle guidelines for CT and MRI scanners are 8 and 6 years respectively. Do insist that your doctor sends you for your next scan, whether MRI, CT, X-ray, mammography, bone density, or ultrasound, to HMC. Due to the Supreme Court's ruling, all scans are covered by your insurance, including HIP and Future Care. While the Health Council continues to appeal that court decision, it remains in place. HMC Burnaby, up-to-date, better, and safer technologies. HMC.bn. It's your right to choose.
It's back! The PAL's annual walk, February 26th. We're excited to be back in person. Choose our traditional walk, either 3K, 5K, or 10K along the railway trail, starting and finishing at PAL's. Or our virtual option, walk anytime, any place. Help us help the cancer patients of Bermuda. Thank you to our sponsors, Clarion Bank, CG Insurance, Butterfield & Vallis, and BF&M. The PAL's 35th annual walk. Register now at racedayworld.com.
You can count on us. fresh boneless pork sirloin chops, $3.99 per pound. Extra large green or red seedless grapes, $4.99 per pound. Hot deal Super Bowl DiGiorno stuffed crust cheese or pepperoni pizza, $14.99 for a 22.2 ounce box. 64 ounce carton, select varieties of almond braised almond milk, $6.49. Old Time 21 grain seed sliced bread, 24 ounce loaf, $8.49. Visit our website at www.marketplace.pm.
You can count on us.
Belco has launched an online platform to receive community concerns. Neighbors impacted by Belco's operations can submit environment and safety concerns and attach photos of any impact from emissions or debris. A member of the occupational health team will respond to submissions within 48 hours to arrange a property visit. The website is at belco.bm/yourconcerns. Neighbors can also share concerns by phone at 295-5111 or email ohse@belco.bm. Recently announced price hikes in local building materials combined with a low inventory of residential properties for sale has made buying a piece of the rock much more challenging. But Brian Medeiros, president and CEO of Coldwell Banker Bermuda Realty, told our Diane Brewer demand is still high and buyers are competing with cash in hand.
The big story of the day is there is a lack of inventory across most residential segments of our market. That's just the reality of it. In 2008, the entire market was producing around 700 transactions a year. After 2008, we started to see that number decline quite rapidly. In 2012, the number of sales for that year was, our records indicate, they were just under 200. So we dropped from 700 to under 200 in a relatively short period of time. We then had an uptick, and then for the most part, we've been plateauing at 250. The other issue is pre-2008, 60% of our buyers, at least within our company, did not require traditional bank financing. Rather remarkably, I think. I say that very easily, but I really reflect on that. That's a huge number. And I think we've been looking at that number internally, and that number in our office is about 50% of our buyers right now do not require traditional bank financing. So not only are buyers competing with other buyers for a lack of inventory, they're also competing with other buyers who do not require financing. And this is at all price points, 200,000 all the way up to 3.5 million. From what I gather, the real estate segment or sector of our economy is the second largest driver of gross domestic product. I believe that sector produces just under 16% of our GDP. So if that's the case, and that's the case around the world, and you can see where our transactional numbers are, I think we need to be focusing a bit on how we get those transaction numbers up without impacting our community's ability to purchase their home.
Research into cost-effective ways to intervene and slow the aging process is being led by Bermudian neuroscientist Dr. Eve DeRosa at Cornell University. Dr. DeRosa will be sharing a presentation at the Bermuda College this Wednesday for their annual Roche Science Week. The research, which has been recognized and supported by the National Institute on Aging, focuses on how cognitive abilities change with age. Dr. DeRosa studies the neurochemistry of how the heart and brain communicate. She also offers outreach programs to educate preschoolers on taking care of their brain health.
When there's stress in your life and you have that fight or flight system going, you want to kind of put the brakes on that one and allow the other system to go. And that promotes new brain cells, that promotes this healthy connection between the body and the brain. And so we want to do that.
It's amazing. Now, I guess in the last couple of years, it's been quite an upheaval for many people, young and old. Have you seen more interest in the study of, stress management and how our organs function?
Absolutely. And I think not only did we have the COVID-19 pandemic, we saw a pandemic of loneliness. And loneliness when people are lonely, they are less social. They take care of themselves less. They eat less nutritious food, and all of these things exacerbate the unhealthy parts of aging. And so if we are social, if we're in contact with each other, then that promotes longevity and health. I have an outreach program teaching kindergartners to 5th grade about the brain so that they get to know themselves and they get to know each other and the diversity of our brains and what it means. This is a really a passion of mine, to start early, get excitement about STEM, get excitement about the brain and understanding self-efficacy and things like that.
The public forum will be held in the college's Athene Lecture Theater tomorrow night from 6:30 to 8 p.m. and will be live streamed on the college's social media platforms. Well, the winds died down a little bit, but let's head over to our friends at AccuWeather now for the latest weather details.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
The BF&M Insurance Group is proud to bring you tonight's weather forecast. A still breeze in place, abating as we go throughout the next couple of days, so the choppy surf will be persisting. A drier stretch of weather coming up with high pressure in control, along with moderating temperatures. We'll also take a look down the road as we focus in on the weekend. There's the powerhouse of a front that's sliding east. This brought 3/4 of an inch of rain into the area yesterday. Some of those downpours made their way through. Along with that, some very gusty winds. That system now well off to the north, though we're still experiencing a gusty northwesterly breeze. So the choppy surf continues as well as the wind. But we're noticing, again, this pocket of moisture is beginning to pool away. So again, we're going to be drying out as we work our way into midweek. Eventually, we'll see some moisture returning as we go farther down the road. Current conditions, it's cooler out. Look at this. We're only in the mid-60s. Right now throughout the area. Humidity around 65%. Winds out of the northwest, 20 knots. There have been higher gusts. Water temperatures have been adjusted downward slightly. 66.7 degrees. Waves inside the reef 4 to 6 feet. And outside of the reef 12 to 18 feet. They've been way up there. These wave heights will be coming down somewhat as we go throughout the next 24 hours. But with that said, there's still a small craft advisory. Goes all the way through Thursday afternoon as the overall wind direction will be channeled in from the northwest. Let's talk about the tides here. This evening, coming up, we have high tide, 9:50 p.m., followed by a low tide Wednesday morning at 3:43. Next tide, high tide, 10:03 a.m. Wednesday, followed by an afternoon low tide at 4:19 p.m. So conditions for tonight, breezy clouds breaking, overnight low temperatures bottoming out. Look at that, down into the 50s. Back into the upper 60s. Quieter weather day for tomorrow. Just a tiny bit warmer than today. Still breezy, still choppy. And then we'll see overnight lows then the next night dropping down into the low 60s. Let's open it up here and check out conditions as we go down the road. Miami tomorrow, looking at partly sunny skies. The same at Boston, Atlanta, lots of clouds around storms off to the west. Showers, downpours around Jamaica and Trinidad. A drier day into Barbados. Our conditions here will be drying out. There goes the front that brought the wet weather yesterday. Not looking overly active as we go from Wednesday into Thursday. We'll keep an eye on conditions late this week into the weekend, though, as there's the potential for some storminess developing off the east coast of the United States. Could see, again, some of that wet weather make its way in our direction by the time we work our way into the weekend. Still several days out, several days to watch that. We will notice, like I said, moderating temperatures are climbing up back into the 70s. Overnight lows will be climbing out of the 50s and into the 60s, but it will stay choppy, as I mentioned, as we go to Wednesday and into Thursday with those northwest breezes.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's Next Level. Wake up in the morning with enough coffee to keep you running throughout the entire day. Your pet at home deserves the best. Stock up on dog food to keep your puppy happy. Need a quick, tasty lunch at home? Your chicken nuggets will be jumping right out of the freezer. What's a movie night without popcorn? You can never have too much. Lindo's Next Level. Why go anyplace else?
Up, feel like phone it up. I feel
Welcome back. You're just in time for another episode of Up Top. Today we'll be focusing on one of the most valuable additions to any solar PV system, a battery. More importantly, the Tesla Powerwall 2. Some quick facts. The Powerwall 2 uses lithium-ion battery cells, almost identical to the battery cells found in the Tesla car. They're stable, charge quickly, and last longer than virtually any other battery in the market. The stored energy from a Powerwall 2 discharges automatically, making you independent from the grid. The battery can store up to 13.5 kilowatt hours of usable energy. With 2 Powerwalls, you could power the average Bermudian home indefinitely. Imagine what you could do with 3. Hello, hurricane season.
Famed educators, Bermuda College President Dr. Duranda Green, and the Horton siblings, Randy, Ellen Kate, and Robert, will all be honored as part of this year's Black History Month celebrations at the Hamilton Princess Hotel and Beach Club. In keeping with the theme of education this year, the event aims to honor the importance of Black Bermudian culture, community, and history. A formal dinner will take place on Saturday, February 25th at 6 p.m., with a portion of the proceeds from the event donated to the honorees' charity of choice, the Bermuda College Foundation, and the Packwood Home. It's Black History Month, and a time to celebrate the tremendous contributions Black Bermudians have made to the economy and the community. One of these areas is retail, a challenging business which requires creativity, business skills, and passion. Eloisa Myers visited an iconic clothing boutique to meet one of Hamilton's longest operating retailers.
Almost 50 years ago, Sharon and Kirk Bartram opened 27th Century Boutique as a men's clothing store in Chancery Lane. Shortly after, it expanded to women's fashions. Mrs. Bartram has managed to make the business a success despite the turbulent global economy.
When we think about small businesses today and all of the challenges that they're facing, especially here, you're in prime real estate, you're facing a lot of competition from online retailers. How are you managing to make this work?
I sort of think of my clients, and I've had clients, some of them for 4 to 8 years. So as they age, I try and create a atmosphere and designs for them.
Mrs. Bartram is known for her dedicated and attentive manner with customers. She believes her eye for detail and her love of good clothing has helped the business to survive over the years. Her husband Kirk passed away 15 years ago, and she believes in continuing his vision.
And I've always worked 6 days a week. So I just stuck to it and paid attention to my clients and see exactly what they wanted and when they wanted and where they're going.
As soon as a customer enters the boutique on Reed Street, they're immediately greeted and offered assistance. Mrs. Bartram acknowledges online retailers are among her biggest competitors. However, she believes there is no replacement for good customer service.
Now, when I came in, you could immediately pick out clothes that would suit me, that I might not gravitate towards. Is that something that your customers know you for?
Yes, yes. They come in and they tell me what they want, and they're out in minutes sometimes because I look at them, see what they look like, see what they want first. And then I know the store, sometimes the store is sort of like fully equipped with clothing. So I sort of like could look at you and see what might suit you.
The business has adapted to meet changing tastes. A good work ethic has also helped to build financial resilience. A recent report from the Chamber of Commerce shows inflation and staffing problems are straining many small and medium-sized enterprises in Bermuda. Despite the pressures many are facing, Mrs. Bartram is positive there is a future in retail for the next generation of Black Bermudians.
So what would your advice be to other Black Bermudians that want to take a risk and strike out and do something like this?
You just take that chance. If you have a vision, you should just pay attention to your vision and just go forward. But it doesn't work overnight, so you have to work at it, work with it, and pay attention and just don't give up because you have hard times. You just try to work through the hard times.
Eloisa Myers reporting for Bermuda Broadcasting News.
More news after the break. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Checking In with Bermudiana Beach, a new series designed to tell you everything you need to know about the new Bermudiana Beach Resort. You've heard of condos, you've heard of hotels, but what are hotel condominiums? Let's break it down for you. A hotel condominium features key-ready rooms and suites that can also be bought as studios and apartments. Owners can then use these properties for personal vacations in desirable locations, and they can offer their properties for rent through rental programs when they are not in residence to earn rental income. Hotel condominium residences provide buyers with an opportunity to purchase in a community with branded hotel amenities at a much lower entry price. Think prestigious hospitality companies like Hilton. The reason they are attractive to buy is because of their convenience and low maintenance. While they may look like a regular professional furnished hotel to guests, the rooms and suites are individually owned as condos. And of course there are benefits, all the amenities you'd get at regular hotels such as pools, gyms, restaurants, bars, meeting rooms, and in Bermuda, pink sand beaches. Plus you got a kitchen or kitchenette so you can self-cater and keep the cost of family vacations down. Additionally, there are wall bed or sofa beds in each condo, so a one-bedroom condo can comfortably sleep 4 people, a 2-bedroom condo 6 people, and so on. Great value on a per person per night basis. To learn more about Bermudiana Beach Resort, visit www.bermudiana.com or make sure to follow us on Instagram at Bermudiana Beach.
Sail GP is coming back to Sydney Harbour. This February, 9 national teams will do battle on the iconic waters.
Slingsby's driving that on the edge here.
Tom Slingsby leads the line for the reigning champions in the Australian boat.
This is NASCAR style.
And national pride is at stake. Sail GP is all action and Sydney always delivers.
Bermudian philanthropist Quinton Sherlock is working to empower the lives of young people through sport and education in Ghana. He told Hamilton Rotarians his NGO, the ACIT Foundation, was established in 2015 and provides academic support and golf lessons to students enrolled in local schools. The Hamilton Rotary Club also announced that it is looking to resume its student exchange program, which members suggest the foundation could help bridge ties between Bermuda and Ghana.
We are already setting up for Bermudian students to be able to come to Ghana, whether you're enrolled in the culinary arts program at Bermuda College, or just a student with an interest that reaches out to me and says that, you want to spend some time there. And by all means, particularly for the young people that we work with in Gumwa Feta, just for them to get out of the country, as we say, would be a life-altering experience for them. Like I said, there are also some misnomers. I mean, a lot of them may believe that once I get out of the country, everything's going to automatically be better for me. So that'll be a kind of a learning curve for them. But again, the things that they can be exposed to can be second to none. And again, part of our vision is to set up just that. Because again, that's where the learning and the growth really takes place, when young people from here are able to go there and really allow them to appreciate what we have in Bermuda.
14 cricketers named today are traveling to Argentina for the 2023 ICC Americas T20 Sub-Regional Cricket Qualifiers tournament starting February 25th. Skipper Delray Rollins will lead the national team, including Kamau Leverock, Trey Manders, Taryn Frey, Dominic Sabir, Jacob Albertzi, Nat Matthew Watson, Justin Pitcher, Zico Burgess, Sinclair Smith, Derek Brangman, Charles Trott, Malachi Jones, and Jabari Darrell. Niraj Odedra and Cal Waldron serve as head coach and assistant coach, respectively. Well, that's our newscast. I'm Che Barker. Thanks for joining us. Have the best Wednesday ever. Good night.